guys, I'm in Paris. Wait. Okay. Let me take the sunglasses off and not look like, oh, why is everything popped off? Okay. I literally straightened my hair this morning and I got messed up by the wind. This guy just asked me, how are you doing, beautiful, in French. That's so funny. Good morning, guys. I'm in Paris. As you can see, I mean, I was so angry the past few days because of my luggage situation. And I'm doing so much better now because I'm in Paris. And it's just like, honestly, you could be angry about so many things, but like the view when you walk around Paris is so freaking beautiful. Look at this building, bro. Like, that's the Louvre over there behind me. And I'm just like walking around in Paris. It's just something about it that just makes me feel energized and happy. And it's like freaking beautiful, bro. America, like, I get it, it started off as New England, but we didn't keep the European architecture, obviously, because we were doing our own thing. But geez Louise, like, yeah, I just feel re-energized, so it's great. It's a great feeling. Here's the thing from the Olympics, the thing that was floating, what is that thing? Hot air balloon thing. And it's funny because I think it was Marie Antoinette and King Louis who saw the first hot air balloon or something to that effect in France. So I think that that's like a beautiful tribute to French history. I could be wrong, but I think so. I saw a little drawing about it. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna hang out with my friend in like an hour. I'm just at the Jardin Tuileries and the Louvre is right behind me and it can't get better than this. There's just something about this street that I just like, you've seen me here before 2 times, so this is my 3rd time, and it's just so great to be on the street. I just love the street so much. This area is great. And there's hot guys everywhere. So it's great. It's just good for my eyes. So yeah, let me put my sunglasses on because it's getting hot already and it's like 9 a.m. So yeah, it was raining the first 2 days, as you know, which really just made me mad. But we're going to redeem the time, okay? And it's July 10th. My birthday is tomorrow. So it's my last day being 29. So let's have fun. On this day, I was broke. I was super duper broke. And I was actually super duper hungry. And I was supposed to meet up with a friend for coffee, and they canceled at basically the last minute and said that we had to reschedule to later on in the day. The only issue with that, well, other than the last minute rescheduling, which is one of my biggest pet peeves, is that I had a fashion show to go to later on in the day, and my budget was so tight that I had budgeted literally only for the train and going to the show, right? So yeah, I skipped out on eating in the morning because I was like, you know what, I'm budgeting on going to the show and then I'll figure it out later. And I had also, this was actually 5 days into my trip and I had moved hotels. I stayed in 3 different hotels. I know that sounds crazy, but the reason why I stayed in 3 different hotels was because when I was planning the trip, like I said, my budget was tight, so I didn't have all the money at one time to pay for one hotel, which would have just been way easier. That's what I did last time. That's what I will do next time I go to Paris, which I don't know when I'm going back. But, so I literally booked 3 different hotels. I know that's a lot. And the hotel that I was at this time was so far from the action, basically. It was a gorgeous hotel, and I'm gonna mention it in more detail, but it was so freaking far from, even by car, like it was so far by car, like the traffic was like a good 40 minutes just to get to where all the action is. It's like way outside of where all the fun stuff is happening. So yeah, there's that. So after walking around the Louvre, I ended up walking and going to this place called Place Vendôme that has a bunch of luxury jewelry. And so I ended up going to the store called Graph that I've only seen online, and I've always wanted to go in person. And the woman who worked there was the sweetest woman I've ever met in my life, and she was literally the most elegant woman I've ever met in my life, like bizarrely elegant. And we talked so much about many different things that I won't talk to because they're like, it was a very precious conversation that I'm gonna treasure for the rest of my life. And it turns out we were the same age, so it was like kind of crazy because I was like, wow, she's like so elegant, like wow. And I think about her a lot because she doesn't have social media, because I was like, can I follow you on Instagram? And she literally doesn't have social media, but she was like the most elegant person ever, and I want to become as elegant as her, or even like 5% as elegant as her. And so because of the last minute rescheduling that I mentioned earlier, I ended up going back to my hotel, which is travel time cuts out so much of the day. Went to go change because I thought, okay, I'll have time to like, you know what I mean, see this person, give them time, and then go get dressed and then only focus on the show. But because of their rescheduling, I had to go back, change, come back, and then meet with them. And that caused me to ended up causing me to be late because there was traffic and I was late for the show. And so when I was in the car, I was literally stressing out because there was so much traffic on the way to the show after I ended up having lunch with this person. And I was just honestly so annoyed the entire time that I was in the car because I really, really felt that I was going to be late. By the time I got to the show, all the seats were filled and I had bought a VIP ticket, so I was supposed to be sitting in the front row, and I ended up having to stand the entire time through multiple designers because they did not seat me, because they were like, oh, the show's about to start literally when I walked in, so they did not seat me. And so I had to stand literally on the side of right by the door with the media team, kind of near with the media team. And it was just very annoying because again, I paid for a seat, and so all of these people that you see sitting in the front row, most of them did not buy a VIP ticket, even though the venue is very small. It was at a very pretty place, but it was like I was honestly 3 minutes late and the show had not even started when I walked in. So it was really unprofessional, and I'm gonna say that. But I didn't delete the clips for the sake of the vlog. And to be completely honest, I bought this ticket on Eventbrite. I don't know who any of these designers are. So that's the reality of my trip. That's what happened. And to be completely honest, my feet were hurting so bad because I wore some vintage YSL shoes from the Real, which were beautiful shoes, but I did not get a chance to break them in because that was my first time really wearing them. And so my feet were hurting so bad at this point because I literally was just standing there. I'm not a person who's used to wearing heels, but it was so uncomfortable. And then afterwards, I went to this hotel/restaurant called Les Ambassadeurs that used to be a very rich person's house, and Marie Antoinette actually used to take piano lessons upstairs, and they have a suite that they turned where she used to take piano lessons into a suite. And I was just really going through it because I was still on my period and it was my last day of being 29, so I was literally thinking about all of my 20s and all of the time that I've wasted. And you guys know how I am. Like, if you've been following me for a while, you know how I am with that kind of stuff. If you know, you know. And so I was literally thinking about all the time that I wasted, like not listening to myself, and how differently my life would have gone had I just listened to myself. Because to be completely honest, listening to other people's advice in my life has been my downfall instead of listening to me, right? And I know that sounds crazy. You may be like, what are you saying? Like, trust me. I'm never going to get into the whole story, but one day, probably when I'm like 50, I'll make a YouTube video telling you guys literally everything, and you'll be like, oh damn, now we get it now. But I just, it was like having I was going through it, right? But I met this really nice American guy who was a businessman. And I felt like I was in a movie, but he was a really nice American guy who was a businessman and was traveling all over the place. And he said it's honestly so exhausting because they're always like, go here, go here, go here, go here. And then they have all these crazy business dinners where like they take you to a really nice place, but these people are trying to talk money with you while you're trying to just enjoy your food. So it was his last day in Europe before finally going home. And he just gave me some really good advice and said I just honestly have to put one foot in front of the other and not stress myself, you know. He was a really great guy. I really forgot his name, but if I saw him in a crowd, I'd be like, hey, I met you in Paris. So part of the good part about this trip was so many people that I talked to and that I got to just meet. And somehow this time around, I met way more people than I did the first time, I feel like. And I got to meet so many different people, and I honestly needed help. Like, I literally... I needed emotional support. So I last time I didn't care about anything because I had the money. But like now that I didn't have money, my emotions were all over the place. And I needed to just talk to people. So he was so sweet, and he paid for my espresso martini. And he was like, I'm gonna pay for another one for you too. And I was like, that's so sweet, thank you. And then everyone was just like, I was just going through it, y'all. I was going through it. I was crying at the bar. Like, I was the first person there. And I was crying at the bar, bro. And all the people who were French people or whatever were talking to me, and they were all nice to me. So shout out to the French, because they were all nice to me. And like, they were just like, yo, this girl is going through it, bro. And I really was. Okay, I was. And yeah, that was my last day of 29. Also, by this time, as you can tell, my outfits, I got my suitcase, but again, I didn't have my suitcase for 5 days. So that's why, like, the first 5 days of my trip, you did not really see me do anything because I only went to the fashion show and was literally sitting in my hotel the rest of the 5 days because I was just like, I literally had one outfit, well, 2 outfits, and then I was like, I had to be there to sign for my suitcase, and they had actually said that they came and tried to drop off my suitcase when I went to the show on Monday, and that they came to the hotel and tried to drop my suitcase off, and that nobody was there, or like I wasn't there, or that the people at the front desk like were like, no, you're not, you can't drop off the suitcase. And so, but everyone at the hotel were like, they knew my suitcase was missing. They knew about the whole thing, and they're like, Tumi, we did not. No one came here to try to drop off the suitcase. It was so crazy. And then literally on the, what was it? On the 9th, remember I got there on the 6th. I got there on the 6th, and on the 9th at around 9 something p.m. probably, or 10 p.m. then they finally came and dropped off the suitcase. It was like so crazy. And literally shout out to everybody who helped me, the woman at Air France at the counter when I was like basically crying, telling her like, dude, this has never happened to me before. Shout out to the people at the front desk at the hotel who were calling and speaking in French, like, bro, bring her suitcase now. It was a lot, bro. Over a carry-on, not even a checked luggage, guys. Like, it was so bad. But shout out to everybody who was super nice to me. That was so, like, it was great. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next vlog, and I hope you enjoy my birthday and afterwards. So that's what's gonna be in the next vlog. So guys, I'm officially 30 years old, and I felt a lot of mixed emotions today, and I cried several times before literally midnight. Basically throughout the whole day, there was just a lot of things that were just on my mind. But ultimately, the Tumi in her 20s and even in her teenage years, there's literally a flying bug that's been tormenting me since I got in this room, and it was on the wall, and I tried to. Okay, well, congratulations to 30-year-old Tumi who just got that bug, because 29-year-old Tumi didn't do it yesterday. This bug has literally been flying around the room, tormenting me. It's like a giant gnat, and it turns out that there's another one that's on the ceiling, but I don't have the mental wherewithal to be chasing bugs on the ceiling. That's too much work. But I got its twin. Jeez. But anyways, the Tumi of her 20s and even my teen years, I have always had vision, and the Bible says that without vision, people perish. A lot of people don't know what they truly want because they're afraid to just say, I want this extremely specific career. This is what I want my days to look like. This is how much money I want in the bank. And this is the man or the woman that I truly, truly, truly want, right? And I'm just at a point where I'm unashamed of what I really want out of life, no matter what anybody else says, because at the end of the day,
this is my reality and my life, and I don't live for you guys. I don't live for my parents. I don't live for my family. Like, everybody's making their own decisions. And at the end of the day, because, for example, with, let's say, relationships, I may want a specific type of man, but you, for example, someone who's watching may be like, oh, I think that you should be with a farmer because X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And then if I live my life according to what random people, no offense, on the internet think, like, I have random opinions about people that I've personally never met in my life, but I never expected them to be like, oh, Tumi said from a burner account on Reddit that I should wear less red, so I'm gonna wear less red because she said so, if my favorite color is red. So a lot of people make these suggestions from their life because, for example, I was just talking to somebody today about how there's so many people who they get a job that they don't like, in a career that they don't like, and they say, well, this is just, it's okay, it's not what I want, but it's okay, it's fine, right? And then they live in a city that they don't really like, but they say, oh, well, like, it has decent transportation and the restaurant scene is okay, and you know, my dream was to live in XYZ city, but I'm here and it's okay. And then what happens? They know that truly, if they had all the confidence in the world and all the money in the world and whatever, they would be with someone who's their type, okay? But then they meet someone else and they say, well, she literally or he literally is nothing near what I've ever been attracted to in my whole life. But, you know, I'm also in this city and I have this job and, you know, she's okay. He's okay. And then you wake up 20, 30, 40 years later and everything in your life has been just okay. And to me, I had so much regret from the ages of like 18 to 25 over my college years that I literally felt like I was going crazy at one point. And so I just refused to repeat the cycle of regret in my 30s. Like, I don't have time to be also even taking advice from people who aren't living the life that I want. Someone who's not living the life that I want cannot give me business advice because you don't know nothing about how to run a business. You don't know how to manage. Someone who cannot manage their finances. Do you see me giving financial advice? No. There's a reason why. Because I'm not the best at managing my finances, so I'm not going to talk about something that literally I cannot even show you the results. I can tell you about art, but I cannot tell you about, oh yeah, you know what you need to do, get this sort of stock, get this and this, because there's people who just talk, but if you're like, hey, I really need $5, they literally don't have it, they cannot give it to you, but they're the ones who's always like, yeah, lecturing you about money, oh, you know, if you just did this and if you just did that, you know, you'd have something, but they don't have it. And so there's so many people who are like, we like to say armchair psychologists, but there's so many people who just sit there on the internet, on watching TV, and they see people every day like, oh, this person's on the red carpet and I was an actress at one point, or I was a singer at one point, or I was a dancer or whatever at one point, and you know, along the way they just said, oh, I'm getting too old, or whatever excuse they gave themselves, and they stopped. They literally stopped. And the thing about it is, I told someone earlier today, I feel like I'm running and I can't see the finish line. But the thing is, like, if you're running and you stop, or jogging and you stop, or walking and you stop, you will never reach the finish line. You will literally never reach it. So if you stop and you take a U-turn and then you're mad at people who are actually living what you were too afraid to even attempt to do, I don't really know what you expect out of that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what people expect when they sit there every day and because I sit on the internet, obviously, and watch other people. But guess what? When I watch other people, I'm like, okay, how do I do this? If I see somebody on a yacht in Monaco, I will literally, or anywhere, I will go online and look up, oh, can you rent a boat for an hour? how much is 1 hour rental? Oh, it's $200. Just let me just say, for example, oh, it's $200 to just take the yacht and spin it around the block. Okay. Oh, is there any service that has, because someone just asked me, oh, how do you do XYZ? I'm like, literally Google. People who don't know, don't utilize Google and free will and their mental capacity, who have the mental capacity to logically think, just confuse me, because I have always been the person who's like, I just Google things. Literally, that's what it's for. I literally look up how much things cost, because I'm like, okay, well, if you can save money, if you say, okay, this pair of shoes is $30, you know, okay, I need $15, or I need $5 XYZ amount of times to get to the $30, or I need $3 10 times to get to the $30. Okay, so if you can do that, then you can say, okay, a plane ticket costs this much, a hotel costs this much, outfits cost this much. And even if you don't have you don't need $1,000 pair of shoes or nothing like that. If you can literally go on any website that's cheap and look up. What I always do is literally go on Pinterest, and then I literally reverse Google image search, or I search up the keywords. So if I see some pants that look like really unique to me, I'll literally look up, I literally look up like black satin trousers with lace trim or something like that, and Google does its work and it will find things that match the keywords, right? Or I will literally just reverse Google image search the stuff. But it's like, I don't know why people don't want to do anything. Like, people, like, I'm not trying to be Kim Kardashian and say nobody wants to work, but the thing is, a lot of people want the outcome without the pre-outcome, right? A lot of people wish that they could wake up tomorrow with a manager, a publicist, a stylist, someone who literally they're just a mannequin basically, and the other people handle everything. But all of those things are things you build on. You have to start with, I'm thrifting some cheap clothes, or I'm wearing vintage clothes from my mom's closet, or I'm wearing clothes from Shein, and I'm putting together outfits, and I'm like, okay, well, this girl is wearing this. I really like that outfit, but I'm not paying $345 for that. So let me find a cheaper alternative, and whatever. So a lot of people don't want to do all that. They don't want to face so-called rejection. They don't want to face, I'm getting on a plane by myself and going somewhere where I don't know anyone. Most people are never going to do that because most people are afraid. But I think the scariest Bible verse that I've ever read in my whole life is that the fearful are included with, and the cowards are included with people who are going to hell. That the Bible says are going to be thrown into a lake of fire. Have you ever thrown something? Like, we all have thrown things across the room. You throw laundry in the laundry basket. That's basically what's going to happen to the fearful. So I get that kind of stuff really bothers me, because I'm like, okay, so faith is literally just saying, okay, yeah, this could happen. Yeah, this could happen where I fail, but at least I tried. I trust God. So I'm like, all right, God, like, you know that this is what I want to do. I'm stepping out in faith. I'm going to go. Right? What did God tell Abraham? Take your wife and leave your father's house, and I'm gonna show you it. You're gonna be a great nation, and I'm gonna show you a land where your descendants basically are gonna dwell in. He didn't give him a roadmap and say, in this many years this is gonna happen, on this day this is gonna happen. He said, get up, pack your stuff and go. Right? So like, if I get up, pack my stuff and go, I'll see when I get there. That's literally how God is. He's literally like, you're gonna see when you get there, because the faith is trusting in the faith is not, I have all these connections and I'm so me. No, the faith is, God, I literally don't even know what's gonna happen, but I booked the hotel in faith, and I'm going to pack my suitcase and pack my whatever, and I'll see when I get there. I'll see what you have planned for me when I get there. I'll see what you're trying to teach me when I get there. you know. So that's real faith. But most people don't even trust anybody. They don't trust God. They literally don't. And the sad part is there are people who sit in church every week and truly waste their own time, because what is the point? Literally, what is the point? Because you could say, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, but if you're cheating on the person, you obviously don't love them. So if you're saying, oh God, I trust you, and you sing all these songs, but you literally cannot even get in the car and drive, metaphorically speaking, you don't trust God at all. You literally don't. You're wasting your time, and you're wasting his time, to be honest, because he has other people, like, no offense, but I feel like God has other people that like are actually moving in faith, and he obviously has all of us in his hands. But it's just like, why are you wasting your own time being like, oh, I trust you, oh, but no, I can't talk to that person, oh no, I can't post that, oh no, I can't try to cook. You know, when people say they don't know how to cook, that's one thing that's literally like, you think that's cute? Like, do you think that's cute? Like, bro, I don't know how to make eggs. You literally crack the egg and put it in a bowl. You put like salt and pepper. This is the most basic recipe in the world. You put salt and pepper in there, and if you want it to be scrambled, you mix it up like this with a fork. And when you put it on the pan, you keep mixing it with a spatula. And that's how you make scrambled eggs. How are you 36 talking about I don't cook? What do you mean? But so you can't follow instructions and you think it's funny. Nobody taught me, bro. There's the internet. But yeah, you just, like, someone told me today. I met this guy from Connecticut. He just told me, like, yo, you just basically have to put one foot in front of the other and like not be so hard on yourself. So I just gotta chill out and be like, yo, I'm literally already driving on the highway, and I'll see the signs when I see the signs, and exit when I need to exit, and pause when I need to pause, and take a rest stop when I need to take a rest. But at least I've never been it's funny because I've never been ever in my life have been the person who's just sitting on the sidelines being a hating person. Literally, I was like, oh, I want to draw anime. I started drawing anime when it was my birthday, and I would get like $20 for my birthday as a kid. I would buy how to draw books. I never started talking about, people who draw, they're like this. No, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do it. When I wanted to learn Japanese, I literally woke up one day at 11 years old and I was like, oh, I should probably learn Japanese, because since I draw anime, like, I'm probably gonna live in Japan. So like, I literally just bought books on how to speak Japanese, and I was like 2006. I still remember the first book that I bought of how to speak Japanese. And then like, I was just like, yo, I should be an influencer. I didn't start hating on people. I just woke up one day and it was like during COVID. I was like, yeah, I should be an influencer. I already had a following, so I just started doing it. Like, I just wake up and I'm like, oh, I should learn Hindi because I watch a lot of Bollywood movies. So like, I just do those things. So yeah, I'm like, I should go to Paris Fashion Week. It's during the week of my birthday anyways, so let me go. So I did. And whatever happens, happens. It's life, bro. It's unpredictable. I could freaking meet someone who could change my reality tomorrow. But it's like, if I just sit on the other side of the camera, hating and mad, nothing good will ever come of that, you know? So I just want to encourage you guys to look at your own lives and be like, where am I a hater? And where can I, like, actually take that energy and put it into making my own dreams come true? Because I used to be extremely jealous too. There was a point where I was like hella jealous, but that's what made me become an influencer, because I'm like, how am I gonna sit here and be jealous when I could just be posting and look at me now, like, you know? So yeah, that's all. Okay, bye, good night.